The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. This is Mike Tipton from Tipton Sports Broadcasting, inviting you to join us on Tuesday, June 10th at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso for all-you-can-eat wings. As a big fat guy, you know I'm going to be stuffing my face, so why not join me and Brandon the Iceman Cone for all-you-can-eat wings? Be sure to tune in to Fire and Ice every Saturday as we talk sports or anything else that might come to mind. At B-Dubs, enjoy the $4 house beer Wild Herd, $5 Bud Lights, and $6 Voodoo Rangers. And take advantage of their $4 Fireball shots.
Fireball.
Happy hour is Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Be sure to try the delicious new sandwiches like the beer cheese cheesesteak and chicken parm melt. Plus, all-you-can-eat wings Monday through Thursday until June 26th. $24.99 for bone-in wings, $19.99 for boneless wings, and the fries are included. All you can eat bone-in and boneless wings Monday through Thursday, and Fire and Ice every Saturday at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Friday morning. Augustine joining us once again on the show. Somehow happy but unhappy about joining me here on the show. Our guy Tommy Cananza already tuned in over on YouTube saying, "What's up, Tip?" Shout out to everyone that's tuned in on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Roku with National Streaming Sports. Thank you all for supporting the show. Augustine, welcome back.
Thank you.
You seem so disappointed. Like this is a place you don't want to be.
Oh, I love it here, but don't you hate when you have a meeting and 30 minutes before the meeting, somebody emails you and goes, "Oh, sorry, I can't make it. Can we make it on Wednesday?"
Yeah, I mean it's one of the things I'm glad I don't have to worry about anymore, like not being in the corporate world or anything of that nature. But it used to happen to me all the time in the radio slots. Like I would having to record commercials. I would have to be there waiting for someone. And then I get a random text message like 30 minutes after the person's appointment. "Oh, by the way, not going to make it today." It's like, "Oh, well, thank you."
30 minutes after that, that's even better.
Oh, yeah. No, that's and there I am just sitting there like an idiot, like, oh well, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know what to do with my hands. That's kind of how I was the entire time with that. But you know what? We survive and we thrive, Augustine. It's all we can do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit them for a larger monthly income sum.
There we go.
It was at 15,000, so now to go up to 17,500 for making me wait.
There we go. It goes up more. Augustine's time is valuable, very valuable, and that's why we're happy to have him here joining us on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, back-to-back days. Augustine, did you watch any basketball yesterday?
Just a tad. Just there was this game I was interested in. I was kind of questioning what the reffing might be like. It was interesting reffing. I mean, that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to say bad things about refs. I just need to say it looked like, Conference USA refs out there.
Conference USA, that has to be the biggest insult that you can give a referee staff, is calling them Conference USA referees. Want to go shout out to Drea Thomas, Good Karma Wrestling, TFDY, and the 915 Takeover Show that joined us over here on Instagram. I was about to say TikTok, but they're over on Instagram watching the show right now. I wasn't so upset with the refereeing as I was impressed with Nikola Jokic doing what Nikola Jokic does. The Denver Nuggets forcing a Game 7 here, getting a 119-107 win at home, having to go now over to Oklahoma City and deal with that fan base going on the road for a Game 7. And I think you and I have had these kind of debating or I guess alternating thoughts about this series in particular. You're saying the young guys are coming to take the old guys' stuff. I keep telling you the old guys are here, and experience actually matters. Not so much in Minnesota at Golden State because Steph Curry got hurt, but you know what? I take my L on that one. 0 for 2 so far. 0 for 2 so far in my picks.
You've been cowboying up for the playoffs. I completely and utterly respect that, but the only way that Denver wins again and wins this very important Game 7 is that if two players do their thing again. I'm not talking about Murray. I'm not talking about Jokic, because we know they're going to get theirs. But if Christian Braun gets 23 points and Julian Strawther, I know everybody was looking at their TV going, who the heck is that? I mean, he had 2 straight threes and then a little alley-oop where he just turned around in the air and put the bucket in there. If he gets another 15 points in 20 minutes, that'll be over. Because you're not going to stop Jokic. You're not going to stop Murray. Stop the other guys. Braun for 20-some points and 10 rebounds he had, something like that, and 5 assists.
The 915 Takeover Show saying the Denver Nuggets will win Game 7. I agree with that, but it's the experience factor, right? They're battle tested. They've been proven. They've gone through all this stuff. You're 100% right. You're not going to be able to stop Nikola Jokic. He is, again, the basketball playing loaf of bread that he is, where he's just amazing at what it is that he does. Jamal Murray was sick yesterday. He's still going to get his points, right? Those two are going to get their points. But you got 5 points, only 5 points from Aaron Gordon, who's been doing a great job in this series to begin with. So let's say you don't get anything from Julian Strawther. Well, then you still got to worry about Aaron Gordon going out there and doing his thing too, right? It's not so easy as, just don't let those guys beat you. Well, you still got to worry about Michael Porter Jr., who can have one of those.
No, you don't. You don't have to. No, you've seen the way he's performed during this series, and that is unequivocally the worst performance by somebody in. It's been horrid. Michael Porter Jr. should be with Bronny James in the G League.
I don't know about that, man. He's solid. He's hurt right now. He has that shoulder injury. We all remember he missed his rookie season because of the massive back injury that he had, where he had to get surgery and stuff on his spine, right? But he still can have one of those games. Like, you have to respect the guy that's 6'10", 6'11", that can shoot the way that he can shoot. He just hasn't been making them. Like obviously he's got that shooter's mentality of, I'm going to make the next one. I can be 0 for whatever, but I'm going to wind up being 1 for 10 at one point in this game. And that's all it takes. And you know it as someone that's played basketball and had struggles as well. All you got to do is make one. As soon as you get that one, you start feeling your rhythm once again, right? That's what it is like, you can't just sit back and be like, oh, okay, well, we can let Michael Porter Jr. shoot all day, because if you give him the space, he'll ultimately make some of those shots.
He's not going to make them. Even if he makes one or two, I believe for this series, his confidence is shot because he has not been a go-to player. Gordon, on the other hand, I think Gordon is the most underachieving player on that team, because Gordon, for me, has so much talent, and he's so underutilized, but he's so unselfish. And for me, with somebody with that talent, with what he's done, I think he's going, well, I got two great players. I gotta just show up some of the time, but he shows up at some very incredible crunch time. I think if the Nuggets do win, it's not going to be because of Jokic. It's not going to be because of Murray. It's going to be because of Gordon or the other players.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, Russell Westbrook was struggling, and you and I were talking about this before the show started. There's always that possibility of Russell Westbrook turning back the clock. Like, again, the Toby Keith thing. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. And that's all you need from Russell Westbrook, is that one game, that one chance where he proves to you, like, oh, hey, look, I can still be this guy. And you don't need a triple-double. You don't need a triple-double from Russell Westbrook. You just need 10, 15 points from him. A couple of like his defensive effort is still there. The same thing with Aaron Gordon, right? Aaron Gordon has 5 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, but it's what he did on the defensive end that really kind of stood out, because, like you said, he's such an athletically gifted kind of dude. I think a lot of people saw Aaron Gordon from the dunk contest and were like, oh, this dude can only dunk. No, he's an all-around basketball player. Like, he's just surrounded by Jokic and Jamal Murray. Like, that's who he would easily be a number 1 on any other team that's out there, or a number 2 on any other team that's out there. Instead, he's the 3rd, sometimes 4th option on this team, which is what I think really helps him out, because Denver's not here without Aaron Gordon hitting that 3 in the last seconds in Game 7 against the Houston Rockets, right?
Yeah, or that dunk.
Yeah, that dunk, alley-oop, missed shot dunk at the end of the game. We can call Jokic can call it an alley-oop all he wants. That was an air ball.
That was an air ball that Gordon saved.
Yeah, and again, like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you have Nikola Jokic out here doing his thing. You have Jamal Murray doing his thing. What can you get from those other guys? And I don't think you're going to get another 5 points from Aaron Gordon. He's too good to only have 5 points in a Game 7. And then on the opposite end, Oklahoma City, Chet Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they're out there doing their thing. They need the other guys to step up. Jalen Williams, Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort, like both Jalen Williams, they need them to step up and actually start playing the damn game.
I think Hartenstein has had a good series, though.
I think with him,
he's tried. I mean, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
You can only do so much.
And it has to be so demoralizing to be playing as hard as they've been playing, like especially Hartenstein. And just watching Jokic do what Jokic does, like, it has to be so demoralizing, because you're right. Like, Hartenstein's out there giving it his all, but he's just not Nikola Jokic, and you're not going to stop Nikola Jokic. And he had 2 bad games for Nikola Jokic standards, right? But he's not going to go back and revert to those 2 bad games because he's too damn good. I keep telling everybody, we need to give this man his flowers. He's the best player in the NBA right now, like, hands down. And it's been undeniable for the last, 4 or 5 years that he's the best player in the NBA right now.
A loaf of bread being the best player in the NBA.
a gallon of heavy whipping cream, being the best player in the NBA. 915 Takeover Show saying Gordon will have 15 plus in this game 7. I can see that. I can see Gordon going for like 20 or 30 in one of these games because, again, Jokic is going to get his. Murray is going to get his. It's so weird because whenever one of them has a good game, the other one's going to have a good game. Like they balance each other out so perfectly. It's all the other guys. And Aaron Gordon, I assure you, isn't going to go 8 for 14 again for 5 points. Or sorry about that. 2 of 7 again for 5 points, right? Like he's not going to go that route. He's too good to go that route.
Yeah, and if Braun shows up though, if Braun shows up like he did, and granted, the kid has some, hey, he's got some moves, and he's fast, he's nimble, he's quick, he's going through the candlestick, but he needs. The thing is, this is a game 7. This is the game that separates the men from the boys, and it also separates the experience from the non-experience. And the only way you can go at that experience is running them out of the gym. Oh yeah, you think you're so experienced? I'm just gonna run. You're gonna be so tired by the fourth quarter, you're not gonna have any legs to shoot.
But you've said that time and time and time again. And the very first game that you said that, where they were running them off the court in game 1, Jokic had 44 points and 22 rebounds. Like he might not be the fastest guy out there. I wouldn't doubt if he's the slowest guy out there. But it just like you will never get Jokic to not play his game. And I feel like Oklahoma City can go out there and they could run all they want. It's kind of like the horror movies, right? Like you're watching Jason Voorhees slowly walk behind them and somehow still gets caught up even though they're running. Like that's kind of the way that it is with Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets right here. Only one of these teams has played in a game 7. Only one of these teams has championship experience. So you're right. Like Oklahoma City's going to have to try to do something here because the pressure right now is on them. I feel like Denver doesn't have the pressure. Like this series should have been over. I feel like there's no pressure on Denver right now whatsoever. And it's going to be, how does Oklahoma City respond to this?
Yeah, that number 1 is instant pressure anyway. That number 1 seed is instant pressure because you're expected to perform.
Well, imagine if they go and they lose in game 7. Now you have 2 seasons, back-to-back seasons, where you were the number 1 seed and you can't make it out of the Western Conference semifinal.
It takes your wind out of your sails, and it does, and it will affect the next season because you'll have players wanting to go to another team that can do it.
915 Takeover Show saying, y'all have a good day, stay fresh. We appreciate y'all for tuning in for the amount of time that y'all tuned in for the show.
Wait. I want to stay fresh. What does that mean?
Stay fresh, so stay so clean, especially whenever you got them happy nuts and they're feeling so good. We're not going to get to that just yet. We got about 12 minutes, Tommy, before we get to the happy nuts promo here.
Hurry, Tommy, hurry.
Tommy is speeding in his car right now.
Run, Tommy, run.
Run, Tommy, run. Okay, so your expectations in this game 7, I'm assuming you're going to stick with your gun saying Oklahoma City is going to win this game.
They have to.
Both teams have to.
You've said it a bunch of times with the Cowboys that there comes a point in time where tide has to turn, and Oklahoma City should just run them out of the gym.
915 Takeover Show says, whenever you say stay fresh, it means stay cool, brother. You are, how old are you, Augustine? I feel like you're close to 50, right?
Oh, come on.
How old are you? Like, genuinely, I'm asking.
44.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Yes way.
Tommy Canata saying the kids are here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, Tommy, you got 10 minutes and 10 seconds to get them kids out of the car. So if you got to push them and tuck and roll, there's got to be some way that we're going to handle all this nonsense. Like 10 minutes and on the dot now. 10 minutes on the dot, Tommy. Okay, so you've got Oklahoma City. I've got Denver trying to find a way here. No matter what happens, I think that this has been a fun series. I think this series lived up to the expectation, right? And we spoke about it after game 2, whenever Denver gets blown out by 43 points, that it wasn't going to be that way the rest of the series. This game has been two heavyweights just changing, knockout punches with one another. And this series is what I love about basketball. This right here, where you can go back and forth, and you are going to prove who the better team is out of the two.
Yeah, it's a great series. It's not the Pacers Cavalier series. Thank goodness that was over the way that was hard to look at. And another one that's been good, and we have to say this, is the Knicks and the Celtics. I mean, they're going at a game 6, and we've said it before that the Knicks have to win right now because the Celtics are without Tatum, and they'll be without Tatum for at least a year. Let's be honest about that one. But you were saying that you like the way Boston operates without Tatum.
Yeah, like their offense seems to flow a little smoother, right? And like obviously you're going to get the boost that they got in game 5 of like, we got to play for our guy, we got to do this, we got to do that. But the thing is whenever Jason Tatum misses games, the Boston Celtics are 10-2. So it's not like they lose all the time without him. They're perfectly fine without him. And you've got Jaylen Brown, and you've got Kristaps Porzingis, and you've got Al Horford, and Derek White is a huge. If you don't watch basketball and you don't know who Derek White is, this dude has a killer instinct in him that you wish every other player on your team had. Like, he shows up for these big moment games, right? Peyton Pritchard is a problem coming off the bench for them. I feel like not having Jason Tatum there allows their offense to flow a little more freely. Jaylen Brown can be the guy that runs to the basket now. He's the guy that's going to be ball dominant and a better ball handler than what Jason Tatum is. But whenever Tatum's there, because he's the best player on the team, the offense runs through him. And sometimes the offense, whenever Jason Tatum is there, becomes very stagnant. And as we saw early on in this series, a step back 3 whenever you're being guarded at 6'10" by someone who's 6'2", you're bailing them out. And it seems like that's what Jason Tatum's game is a lot of time, is let's bail it out here, where Jaylen Brown's game is let's attack. And the one thing that I can't say is I don't expect Boston to win this series. I had Boston winning the series anyway. New York has come out and slapped the hell out of them a few times. If this series goes to a game 7, New York is in trouble. Like, legitimately in trouble. They shouldn't have allowed game 5 to happen, and they can't afford to lose game 6 either.
Yeah, completely agreed, because you know that interesting reffing is going to start to take over anyway. But I got a question for you on Tatum. Do you prefer Tyrese Halliburton or Tatum? That's
I like Halliburton's game a lot better than I like Tatum.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that Jason Tatum might have all the physical skills, but is he lacking where it counts? Is he lacking? I'm not going to say the guy isn't smart, but Halliburton and other players take their advantages really seriously. What I mean by that is, if Halliburton has a bigger player on him, he'll go straight to the bucket. If little things like that, which make the difference in these really tight games. It seemed like Tatum, yes, he was bailed out by the great shooting. Yeah, completely agreed. He made some, and everybody calls them clutch shots. But he was bailed out by his talent, not by his brain.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? Like Tommy Canazza saying he saw it firsthand last year in the NBA Finals, like how good Boston can be whenever they're clicking on all cylinders, right? Like and that's what he's saying. He saw it last year. Derek White is a dog, and he is. Like, that team is surrounded with dogs, but it depends on the leader mentality. And Jason Tatum doesn't have that dog mentality. He has the ability of being like, I'm much more talented than you. I'm going to get my points, right? Like whenever he got injured, he had 42 points in 40 minutes. Like the dude was balling out of his mind, but they still lost that game. You know what I mean? Like Jaylen Brown just has a different level to it. Derek White has a different level to it. Now they're roaming a little more free because it's not, let's get Jason Tatum the ball and rely on his immense talent that he has. Because you're right, like, I think he's a super talented player. I just don't know if he has it mentally, like if he has that killer instinct mentally. And you even saw it last year whenever they won the NBA finals and they like go up to him with the microphone. He's like, oh, we did it. Yay! Like the weird celebration that he had where it was like he's not even happy that he did. He felt like it was supposed to be gifted to them in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Would you say Jason Tatum is selfish?
I wouldn't say he's selfish. I would say that in crunch time, he doesn't rely on his teammates as much as he should. Because again, when you're the most talented person on the court, you should have that confidence. You should have the I'm going to be the one that wins this game. But there's a guy that's equally as talented with him in Jaylen Brown who's not as selfish.
And I'll debate that one with you all the time because the greatest player in the world passed it to Paxson and Steve Kerr to win deciding games. So and he told them before, hey, I'm coming to you because you're going to make that shot. The difference between a leader and I don't want to say that Jason Tatum isn't a leader because he's naturally followed by his teammates, but you know, we go back to that thing where you just said last week about basketball IQ, knowing what to do, and I think that's missing from Tatum's repertoire, and you could see it right now, and you said it brilliantly, Tipton, that the Celtic offense flows, something it did not do with Tatum on the floor.
Yeah, and that was the thing too, is like there was a lot of plays with Boston where Tatum would have the ball and it felt like a black hole of an offense, right? Like it like the offense just became stagnant and stopped. Now it's starting to flow a little bit. It's starting to have a little bit of what made Boston so special last year of them moving the ball around. That was because Jaylen Brown was the one handling the bringing the ball up court duties and all that stuff, right? So for me, it's like we've really got to see what happens in this game 6. If Boston wins this game 6, I feel like they're going to win this series because it's going to be in New York's head. They're going to go to the Garden in Boston for a game 7.
Yeah.
Like that's a tough place to win, man.
That's a very tough place to win. And then if the Knicks do lose tonight, all the ghosts are going to start coming back up, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to have some really incredible characters in the Garden for Game 7. Up on the seats, that's going to put pressure on the Knicks. You're going to have Larry there, you know.
Oh yeah, no, you're going to be surrounded by the 18 banners. You're going to be surrounded by, the spirit of Bill Russell and like John Havlicek and like all those guys that have won multiple championships. The amount of game 7s Boston has won in Boston, like that crowd would be electric in Boston for a game 7. I feel like there's two differences, right? Like we get a game 7 in Boston, that crowd's going to be electric, expecting Boston to win. You get game 7 in Oklahoma City, you're going to have a crowd that is terrified of what Nikola Jokic can do, right? Because if Denver comes out and slaps Oklahoma City in the mouth in the first quarter, it's going to be just like it was in Houston, where you can hear a pin drop in a game 7 on the road. And that was wild to me, man. Absolutely wild. That's what the atmosphere was like in Houston. But Denver can do that. And these kids, and this is what I was going to say about Jason Tatum real quick. These kids grew up watching, right? Like they grew up watching. Jason Tatum wants to be the guy with the ball in his hands all the time because LeBron James got killed time and time again for making the right basketball move, sucking in the defense, passing to a guy that can shoot. That guy misses a shot unless it's Kyrie Irving, right? And Kyrie Irving wins a game for you. but LeBron got massacred for making the right basketball move time and time again. These kids grew up watching Nikola Jokic in these game sevens, like the legend grow over the last couple of years. Because we got to remember, Chet Holmgren's a young dude. This is his second year in the NBA. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this is his fourth year in the NBA. They've seen that legend go at it. And once that legend gets hot, there's no way of stopping it, just like there's no way of stopping Just the Tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Mis nueces limpias.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton and save on all of your male grooming needs. The summer's coming up. You don't want to be swampy. You want to be taken care of. You have got to go to www.myhappynuts.com. Use that promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. Our guy Tommy Carranza saying, I'm turning down the volume, guys. I'm about to walk into Walmart. Not today, Tip. Not today, Just the Tip. Not today. I assure you, Tommy, at one point probably like turned it up to hear what it was that we were saying, and then we got him with Just the Tip.
Well, I would get Tommy with Just a tip. Just that out there.
Where are your headphones at, Tommy? Jesus.
Yeah, Tommy. Do we have to get Buffalo Wild Wings to, sponsor some at least some Bose headphones for you, man? Because you can go walking and be looking at a lady going, hey, just a tip, lady.
Noise canceling headphones all the time, right there for Tommy. Like just surrounded by Just the Tip.
Oh, I got an image of my brain right now. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Roku.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Roku. I'm sorry, everybody. I even turned red. Look at this, Mike. I even turned red.
Look at you. You were turning into a tomato. What the hell? The vision you must have had.
See, the vision I had was Tommy's face with that scene with all the guys around going,
Oh, wow. Wow. Now we know what your search history looks like. Tommy Carranza saying they're at home charging before my 13-hour shift. Okay, you know what? In that case, 100%. I will no longer judge. Mea culpa. I genuflect to thee. I apologize, my guy. Woof. A 13-hour shift. A 13-hour shift. Yes. Okay, so we spoke about the NBA. Obviously, we got a Game 7 happening with Denver and Oklahoma City. We got Game 6.
Which is, by the way, if anybody's going to tune into a game, tune into a Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's even if you're a fan, if you're not a fan of either team, or if you're a fan of one team, it feels completely different. Game 7 is a different feeling.
Well, and also that, like, if your team is knocked out of it, like mine is, the atmosphere of a Game 7 for, like, where you don't care who wins, like, that atmosphere is so much, it's so much fun. Well, like, a Game 7 is the one that you don't miss. Who do you got tonight between New York and Boston? New York is a 2.5-point favorite in this game.
Boston.
Man, I'm saying the same. I'm going with Boston in this one. 2.5 points, and the other team is missing their superstar. That's that doesn't lead me to have much confidence. Like, Vegas doesn't have much confidence in the New York Knicks. So we're both going here with the Boston Celtics, forcing that Game 7. The ghosts in Boston Garden are going to come out in that Game 7. Good luck, New York. Good luck in that one. They're again, imagine what happens if they choke away a 3-1 series lead.
Hasn't New York been doing that for the longest time anyway?
It kind of feels that way, especially with and this is the thing. If they don't win this game today, if New York does not win this game today, it will continue their streak of not being able to win a closeout game in the playoffs at home since 1999. They haven't closed out a series in the playoffs at home since 1999. So there's a lot of pressure there on this team to perform today.
Those two planes did more damage than any other thing.
especially to Madison Square Garden.
The Garden. So,
Okay.
we've been talking about basketball a lot, and yesterday we talked a lot of football, a lot of footy. One of the news that really took me by surprise yesterday is, and I think it took you by surprise as well, the retirement of Derek Carr.
I don't think it necessarily took me by surprise. Like, he's been hurt, and you kind of saw the writing on the wall whenever, the random, I'm going to have the surgery on my shoulder, and I don't know what's going to happen for the remainder of the season. And if you're Derek Carr, you've got to kind of like look back and see that one of the legends that the New Orleans Saints brings into the facility all the time is Drew Brees, right? And a lot of people don't know this about Drew Brees. He had to learn how to throw a football left-handed because he couldn't do it with his right hand to play catch with his kids anymore. If you saw that and you know that you've had so many injuries and you've had all this stuff, it kind of weighs in your mind, man, of maybe it's time. And the second that question creeps in, you know it as well as anybody. The second the doubt creeps into your mind, that's when it's done. That's when it's game time. You shouldn't do it anymore because you're not going to be playing it the way that you expect yourself to play it, to the level that you had yourself playing it at, right? So for me, that's where I feel Derek Carr was. That's a prime example of what happens if you play the game for too long. Tom Brady is the outlier, right? Like Tom Brady being perfectly healthy, perfectly cognizant after 22 years of playing in the NFL is a different monster.
Are you listening? Are you listening, Aaron?
Yeah. Drew Brees having to learn how to throw a football left-handed so that he can play with his kids because he can't use his right arm anymore. That's such an alarming thing. And Drew Brees is the one that came out and said it.
Yeah. But I did not expect Derek Carr to retire. I thought Derek Carr always got the short end of the stick because he was always in these really these bad teams. And I thought I think he's one of those quarterbacks that if he was put, not because everybody says the right situation, because any quarterback can be great in the right situation. But you would, if you got Derek Carr, his rookie or second year in the Dallas Cowboys, I think Dallas would be screaming a whole lot different in the last 15 years.
And I think that's the thing too, right? Is like he was done so dirty by the Raiders because they never really put talent around him. And they never really put like an offensive line around him. And whenever they had Devontae Adams for a little bit, like he looked like a serviceable quarterback. Like he could do something. And as soon as they started having any type of success, they ship him off as though he wasn't wanted at all to New Orleans. And New Orleans was in, the hell that they were in, the purgatory that they were in, because they still have so much salary cap issues. Like they still have Drew Brees on their salary that they're paying and having to do all that stuff with, right? And whenever you look at it, like Derek Carr played in the NFL for 11 seasons. That's a lot of wear and tear on the body to have the lack of success that he had. Now, obviously, it's not near as bad as what his brother got, right? But it's still one of those things of you had 11 years of just getting your ass drilled into the ground. You don't want to deal with that anymore. And I can totally understand it, man.
Yeah, I do too. But at the same time, you feel it's one of those quarterbacks with given the chance, he would do a lot better than Darnold did in Minnesota.
Tommy Canazza saying Derek Carr is and always has been meh. And that's the thing is, like, I think he's a middle of the road quarterback, right? Like, I think that's what you and I can say. Like, he is a middle of the road guy, but it's also imagine if he had talent around him. But like, what could he have done? You saw how Sam Darnold was resurrected in Minnesota whenever you gave him some talent around him, and that's the case with like a lot of these teams. Give your guy a chance. Just give him someone that they can throw the ball to and see how good that they can be. Whenever Derek Carr went to New Orleans, sure, you had Alvin Kamara, but that was really the only viable option that you had, right? Michael Thomas was already kind of old and not able to do what he needed to do. Taysom Hill, are you going to rely on a 34-year-old tight end that's also a running back / quarterback / receiver? That's got to be your number one guy. I know they have
special teams too. You got to remember that.
Yeah, and like I know they had Chris Olave, but Chris Olave last season was hurt with concussions. It seems like he's always hurt with some sort of concussion. So it's not like Derek Carr was ever given a real roster of like super talented players. Like I equate it to the Tony Romo conundrum that the Dallas Cowboys had, right? You had a great offense with Tony Romo all the time, but you never had a good run game and you never had a good defense to give it to him. And whenever you finally got it to him, he was so broken and worn down that his back broke and he had to hand the reins off to Dak Prescott. Like Tony Romo literally broke his back twice for the Dallas Cowboys and still wasn't able to get it done because the team just didn't build around him the way that they should have.
No, completely agreed. And you've said it, and I agree. Tony Romo is the greatest quarterback Dallas has ever had. I mean, Aikman won all these championships. Staubach, or is it Staubach? Please correct me.
Staubach.
Midea
Ray is saying that is why the Raiders will be cursed for another 40 years just for Derek Carr. And that's the thing with the Raiders, right? Like, I get it. People can be like, oh, the Raiders made it to the Super Bowl in 2000. They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1983. Since before I was born, they haven't won a Super Bowl.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long time ago. A very long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly.
And if I'm correct, that was the Super Bowl with John Madden, wasn't it?
I want to say that was Tom Flores.
That was Tom Flores?
Yeah.
Who did John Madden win the Super Bowl?
John Madden won 1. I think Flores won 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I might have them switched around. Maybe Madden won the last one, but I feel like Madden won the first one. I don't know. I'll have to really look into that. Now, I wanted to get your opinion on this because ESPN senior writer Seth Wickersham came out with a book that's going to be coming out in September, and it's talking about quarterbacks in the NFL. And the excerpts that's been kind of floated out there now are about Caleb Williams and how Caleb Williams didn't want to go to Chicago and how this rookie season of Caleb Williams was really eye-opening for not just him but his family on how the NFL I guess operates, right? Like you got to remember the situation that Caleb Williams went to with the Chicago Bears, not that great, and he was trying to force his way out where he didn't have to be a Chicago Bear. Obviously, in the NFL with the draft, you don't get that luxury, right? Like you get drafted to whatever damn team drafts you to that team. Tommy Canonza saying Tony Romo had a couple of good and balanced teams around him in 2007, 2014. And the Crooked Commish saying that he's been hearing this since yesterday, the Caleb Williams stuff. Caleb Williams comes out and says something that to me is damning about what it was like for him this first season in Chicago, saying that he's watching tape, but he's messaging his dad being like, I have no idea what they want me to watch whenever I'm watching this film. Like, I just put it in, I watch it, but I don't know. Like, my coaches aren't telling me what to do. First, Augustine, your thoughts on a rookie quarterback trying to force his way out of a situation, being unsuccessful at it, obviously, and then what it must have been like to be that rookie quarterback and have no clue what you're supposed to do because your coaching staff ain't helping you.
Well, one, being in the NFL, it's a privilege. Let's call it what it is. And all these, you may be the best quarterback in history of college football, but to play in the NFL, stay there, is a privilege. So even getting drafted 144 is a privilege, because you're the 1% of the 1% getting paid to throw a ball and getting paid to work half the year. So anybody that wants to go to the team that they're liking, just tell everybody, I don't want to get drafted. I'll go in there as a free agent. You have that option. Just tell people you don't want to get drafted and no ifs or buts. Simple.
Yeah, but I mean, your earning potential if you go in as a free agent is not near what it would be. Like, he was a number 1 overall pick, right? Like, he's getting millions and millions of dollars.
If you're that good, you will wait for your payday because it's gonna come, and it's not like the league minimum is you're gonna be living in segundo barrio. Let's be honest about that one. It's you're not gonna be in a shack in a 1-bedroom apartment with your 2 kids, most probably. That I mean, it's not gonna be like that. The team is gonna take care of you. Being a sign, if they see real talent in there, your signing bonus is going to be there. All kinds of stuff can be there. So if people don't want to go to a certain team, just tell people, hey, I don't want to be drafted. I'll go in as as soon as you declare, just go to the team and go, I'm a free agent. I'm yours. Sign me to league minimum. That's it. And then your second question is, what would that feel like to have coaches not knowing what the hell? Yeah, it's like it's also the matter of fact when you feel that you know a lot more than these coaches because you're looking down upon them. That's a dangerous slippery slope because are you better? Are you smarter than the coaching in the NFL? I mean, to be a coach in the NFL, I mean that's even harder to be a player in the NFL. Tip. That's these coaches know what they're doing. Maybe you didn't get the idea. Maybe it was you all the time. Let's be honest about that one too.
But the thing is like he was having to watch film as a quarterback by himself, right? Like the Cricket Commission saying they heard bits and pieces about this all last year as well. But now it's finally confirmed. Watching tape by yourself is criminal. No wonder he looked the way that he did. Like they would just put him in a room and say, watch this video, right? Like just watch this video. We're not going to tell you what to look for. Just watch this video. Tommy Cananza saying Caleb Williams is a brat. I saw it firsthand when he was at Oklahoma. Bears fans are seeing it now. Maybe there is something there, right? Like maybe he alienated some of the coaching staff and things like that with the way that he was acting. Maybe they're trying to teach him a lesson. But think about this, Augustine. You could say was set up for a lack of success, right? Like if you're going to go in and be an asshole, if you're going to go in and your coaches are going to say, let's make an example out of this kid real quick, you shouldn't have had a pretty decent season. And then you look at it, he throws for 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, right? Like it's not terrible. You juxtapose that with Jaden Williams, who everyone said had a great season last year. Jaden Williams throws for 29 more yards, 5 more touchdowns, and 3 more interceptions, right? Like they were kind of eye and eye with one another, and one of them we're saying is the rookie of the year. The other one we're saying didn't do that good. There was 29 yards that separated them and 5 touchdowns, right? Like it's not like it was a huge gulf between the two guys. Now imagine how good Caleb Williams can be now that he has a quarterback's coach there with Ben Johnson, now that he's got the ability to have someone say, look, this is what we want you to look for whenever you're looking for tape, because now it's out there in the public, right? Like we can't let this kid just watch tape by himself. You would expect someone would know how to watch tape by the time they got to the NFL, like what it is you're looking for. Jaden Daniels. Sorry, I said Jaden Williams. I meant to say Jaden Daniels. All right. My bad, Crooked Commish. My bad. Now that he has someone that
and he misspelled Jaden, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Jayden. Come on now, guy. If you're gonna call me out on it, you better come correct with yours as well. But that's what I'm saying. Like he didn't do that well, or he wasn't that bad last year.
No, he wasn't.
The fact that it felt like he was set up for failure.
And Yeah, he was, but I think at the end of the day, he made a statement. He made the statement that says, "Help me, so I can help you." And if he continues this, he might lead 10 good years of good football for Chicago. And I know some Bears fans out there, like our very own Brad DeBow. Uh, he's a huge Bears fan, and I think this could be the start of something good for Caleb Williams and for the Chicago Bears. But how much are the Chicago Bears going to invest around him? That's the real question. Do they believe it yet, or do they still need another year?
And I think that's the thing too, right? Is like they're going to need another year, but they've done enough. They've done enough to, I think, help him out. They've addressed the offensive line. They have a lot of stuff in salary cap. They address the defense. I don't think they'll be the best team in the division in the NFC North because you still got the Lions. I think but I can see them being like the second best team in the division now, right? Like it's going to be a fun division to watch.
I mean, the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings in the same division.
Yeah, and you can see like the Bears are. They have the arrow pointing up, right? Like they're on the right trajectory. They're doing all the things that they needed to do. And I think that it's all a part of the maturing part, right? Like Tommy Canazza saying he's talented, talking about Caleb Williams. Don't get me wrong, he's talented, but he has a horrible attitude. I think that that's going to change with like maturity, right? Like we got to remember these are still kids.
I got a question for you. So in that division, which I think is probably the NFC North and NFC West, probably for me are the toughest divisions. AFC North is also disgusting, but in NFC North division, are the Bears going to be better than the Vikings because of the new QB? Is Detroit going to be still up there, or is Green Bay going to be top of the division?
Well, you heard me say it yesterday, right? Like I think all those teams are going to take a little bit of a step back. I think Detroit, they're good. They're not going to be a 15-win team again, right? Like Minnesota, they're going to take a massive step back, I think, because they pulled games out of their asses that they should have lost that they wound up winning. And I think a lot of people kind of gave them the blueprint. This is how you can beat the Minnesota Vikings. Look at how Detroit beat them twice, and then the Rams beat them twice, right? Mireya saying that Green Bay will be on top of the division once again. I can see that. But I can see all these teams making a run for the top of that division, right? Like they're so close. The Bears though, you look at like some of the losses they had last year, just heartbreaking loss after heartbreaking loss. We spoke about how lucky yesterday Jaden Daniels was with the Hail Mary at the end of the game. That was against the Chicago Bears. Like the Bears were in a lot of these games and just couldn't get the wins, couldn't get what they needed to do. I don't think that's all on Caleb Williams. I think that was a lot like Matt Eberflus. Let's go back to that Thanksgiving game where they have a lead on the Lions. They have the ball, or I guess they didn't have a lead, but they had an opportunity to win. They have the ball with a timeout in 30 seconds, and Eberflus just lets the entire clock run out without even getting a playoff. Like it was the craziest thing, and that's the reason why he got fired. You know how bad you have to be to get fired on Thanksgiving? That's exactly what happened to Matt Eberflus, man. Like there's a lot of that where it's like, okay, the Bears were just snake bitten last year. I can see a scenario here where all these teams are close to like double-digit wins, right? Like each team has 10 or more wins, and they just kind of cannibalize one another. And they make that division so much fun. But I feel like each team could make a case on why they would win the division. And all of us could be like, you know what? Yeah, I can see a scenario where your team wins the division.
Yeah, that's a tough division. That is a tough division. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, I'm going to sound Brandon Cohn-esque. That's a tough division. And
that's the thing is like I think that's the toughest division. I would say the NFC East is going to be the next toughest division because you got Dallas, Philadelphia, and Washington that have all seemingly gotten a little bit better. You got the defending Super Bowl champion in there. The NFC West I would push against because you got Arizona in there. You got San Francisco. God knows what San Francisco is going to look like this year. Maybe you have a little bit with the Rams and the Seahawks, but even
The Rams lost Cooper Kupp. No,
yeah, they got Devontae Adams.
Devontae has been shipped all over. There's something wrong with Devontae Adams. He might be a great.
He's Aaron Rodgers' best friend. That's what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Tommy Canazza saying Eberflus is not a good head coach, but he's a great defensive coordinator. They're still trying to convince me that Eberflus is going to help out the Dallas Cowboys as he's now their defensive coordinator. All I remember is you got fired on Thanksgiving. How bad do you have to be to get fired on a day that everyone's thankful?
He's thankful he got fired and got a better salary from the Cowboys.
Mireya Reyes saying, what kind of snake? Because the Bears have been paralyzed for years. Man, that's mean. They got bit by a black mamba or a king cobra, something like that. Something that can really, the venom is there forever.
Ooh. Man, that comet is venomous. Ooh.
Yeah, what kind of snake? This garbage-ass team. That's basically what she called them. Right
yeah. Wow.
Tommy Canazza saying there will be 2 teams from the NFC East in the championship game this year again. Saying it's either going to be the Eagles, the Commanders, or the Cowboys. I will push back on the ability of the Cowboys being in the NFC Championship game. I've got to see it to believe it. I was 11 years old the last time that happened. I'm a 41-year-old man now.
I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again today. This is the Cowboys' year. Completely. Bad thing the playoffs are next year.
I knew you were going there. I wanted to stop it, but I understand what it is that you're doing right there, Augustine. All right, everybody. I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We'll be back again on Monday, all over the place, social media. I'll be back again on Monday, not Augustine. He might have a meeting, or maybe he'll get kicked out of another meeting. Who knows?
More than likely.
Dallas versus Philly in the NFC Championship game.
No. Sorry, Tommy. No.
Again, I want to believe. So I will be as optimistic as I possibly can. Okay, everyone, tune in tomorrow for Fire and Ice. We're going to be live over at Buffalo Wild Wings. Come hang out with Brandon the Iceman Cohen and myself as well as we're out there doing Fire and Ice on the show tomorrow. Augustine, thank you so much for joining me these last couple of days. I hope you have yourself a great weekend, my friend.
Great weekend, everybody.
This is Mike Tipton from Tipton Sports Broadcasting, inviting you to join us on Tuesday, June 10th at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso for all-you-can-eat wings. As a big fat guy, you know I'm going to be stuffing my face, so why not join me and Brandon the Iceman Cohn for all-you-can-eat wings? Be sure to tune in to Fire and Ice every Saturday as we talk sports or anything else that might come to mind. At B-Dubs, enjoy the $4 house beer Wild Herd, $5 Bud Lights, and $6 Voodoo Rangers. And take advantage of their $4 Fireball shots.
Fireball.
Happy hour is Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Be sure to try the delicious new sandwiches like the beer cheese cheesesteak and chicken parm melt. Plus, all-you-can-eat wings Monday through Thursday until June 26th. $24.99 for bone-in wings, $19.99 for boneless wings, and the fries are included. All you can eat bone-in and boneless wings Monday through Thursday, and Fire and Ice every Saturday at Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive.